What up? What up? Welcome back to another episode of the Crown and Stitch podcast where we talk about fitteds, snapbacks, headwear. We're going to get us some funky stuff tonight. It's going to be a good episode. I'm with my guys, Dexter and Keith. What's good, fellas? How you guys doing?
Yo, what's up? Ready to talk some more hats tonight, man.
Fingers crossed the internet stays
man, little technical difficulties trying to get on here.
We just had 30 minutes of what's happening?
Yeah. That's how it goes. Everybody that's ever done a podcast knows the struggles. We've all run into them. But hey, if you haven't already, follow us on all the social media channels. We got @Crown and Stitch everywhere you should find us. We're going to be probably doing some Twitch, probably doing some Instagram, some Twitter, some TikTok type stuff. But we're still getting started here, so just want to get everybody aligned with us so they can connect with us in between shows. Because plan right now is to do about half-hour episodes and do one a week. But we'll see if everybody wants to hear more from us and needs us in their ear, telling them to buy hats the way Dexter did to start the evening off for me. Like we could possibly make it happen more frequently. So, but that is like the best and worst part about this podcast so far. We haven't even really gotten started with it, and I think I've probably bought 10 hats in the first 4 or 5 episodes recorded. So
you're not wasting no time there.
I mean, it's tough because it's so hard to not. Like, how do you resist when you see something? Like you see something, it's either a color that you don't have or a side patch that you just have to have, or a combination of those two things.
You had a combination. You had a patch you'd never seen.
Yeah.
And a colorway that probably has never even been made. Because it was almost like Niners colors, right? Black and red.
Yeah. I mean,
but you'll probably show it off in a couple more podcasts whenever that lands.
Yeah, we'll definitely see it. But we are going to do some new pickups this episode, or a new pickup maybe one a piece. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Sounds about right to me.
I know Keith's been waiting on this. He's been waiting on this episode because he hit on a little blind box, which I think is probably one of the coolest things I've seen done in the world of hats recently. So I'll let you start it off.
All right.
Yeah, explain that first to the people.
All right. So
the concept.
Through exclusive fitteds, it might have been about close to 2 weeks ago now. They had a mystery pack of corduroy hats come out. I want to say maybe it was around 10 hats or so. And, you put in for your size and whatever they randomly picked, one of the hats to give to you. And they don't tell you what it is. I still, to this moment, don't know exactly what they sent me. So as there were no Dodger hats in the collection, I figured I would roll the dice. I might not have if there was a Dodgers one in there, but, most of them looked pretty good to me. Of course, there was some I would have a preference over of that I would get. But you know what? I'm going to just get into it.
Which one would you want in there?
They had an Astros one. They had an Astros one. Yeah, and it had a black corduroy brim, and it was like maybe like a ultramarine blue, and there was a Phillies one too. It was an all corduroy Phillies, and it had the old I forget what they call it, but you know how they have the baseballs going around it.
Yep.
Let's open.
Yeah, logo. Yep.
Yeah.
What color was the squatchy though?
I think it was a black squatchy. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Gotta drop squatchy in every episode now.
Yeah, squatchy.
All right.
So if you're watching this wondering what's going to come out of this box, let us know if you would actually cop a blind box hat of some sort, because I think the only rule would be exactly what Keith said. For me, if there's no Dodgers, I'm in. Like I'll take my random chances.
All right, here we go.
That's nice.
Oh, that's a good color, man.
Yeah, I'm not even mad at this one. Yeah, the all black corduroy with the purple UV.
Like our color scheme.
Yeah,
it is. I think it was meant to be, right?
That
Seriously.
is clean.
Nah, I'm very happy with that.
R.I.P. Kirby Puckett.
And you know what? I don't think I have a Twins hat in the collection either. So I think that was
nice.
being the Crown Stitch colors and getting the Twins for the first time. I'm not even mad at that.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Hell yeah. Black and purple, baby.
Yeah.
What you guys got? Let's see the new pickups.
You want to go next, Dexter?
Which one should I go with? Okay, fuck it. Orioles.
You got that already, huh?
That's so
Got
good.
that gold digger. Already, baby. Look at him. Woo. Yeah, haven't even put this thing on yet with the white guts. Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are those still sitting?
There's a couple of them up there, I think, but not too many.
Yeah, I was surprised those didn't sell out very quick.
I was as well, but I guess word around town was people just weren't feeling them that much. No problem with me.
Yeah,
that's a good looking hat.
The Giants are still sitting there.
Yeah, I might have
not
to
a size
do it.
8 though. 7 5/8, 7.5. Ooh.
I like the like you said earlier, the green bill and the white lining is just so old school, right? Like that's like
classic.
Everything as a kid came that way that I can remember. So, all right, get this going for y'all.
Holy shit!
Oh.
I can't remember where this is from. I think it was a Hat Club pickup, but oh no, this might have been New Era directly.
Damn.
How to do the Jackie Robinson. I don't know if you can see that very well.
So my buddy has this hat, but his patch doesn't look anything like that. His patch is tiny.
Yeah. It's like that foil material. You know what I'm saying? Like a little thick. Yeah, it's nice.
I tried to order that one too, and their site was down or something. It must have been like 3 weeks ago now. But I tried to order one, and it wasn't letting me check out or anything.
Yeah, I mean, that'll lead us into the next part of the show. I didn't bring them with me, but I've got a bunch of Jackie Robinson inspired cleats and like trainers and stuff from sneaker world. So that's pretty much why I'm just a fan of the man, what he did for the game. So felt like having the opportunity to get that on there as a side patch is super dope. But even if there's a slight hesitation for him being a Dodger, but like you know what I'm saying? It's like less than a hair hesitation.
Well, at least there's no blue on there. Like they're trying to make them wear blue on Jackie Robinson Day. Like, come on, it's come on, dog. That's just cold. I think they did that only because they knew the Giants had to be included in it.
Yeah. I mean, I do think it's cool that the leagues like recognizes that and does the 42 and you know all that kind of stuff. Like I feel like there's only a handful of players in any sport that deserve that, but he is definitely top of the list in my opinion. So
100%.
But all right, so I'm gonna just jump right back on here because I'm gonna pull my headphone out. You guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna jump in with my kicks and fits.
Ooh.
Fits and kicks and fitted and kicks. All right.
Oh, come on. Dog.
So Reebok Insta Pump Fury. If you don't follow sneaker history, you'll definitely see a lot of Reebok for me. And I haven't worn this undefeated hat yet, but this is from the collection they did. I don't know, maybe 6-9 months ago. I've got the USA flag on the side. I just figure that's a pretty good little combo.
That's dope.
So
love it.
What do you guys got?
Go ahead, Dex. What you got, man?
Okay, you want me to
go ahead, man?
Okay. Let's go. Let's see what we're doing there. All right. Nah, I'm gonna do this one. So we got the Seattle Pilots hat.
Oh, that's
so
dope.
Patch. This is they were only a team for 1 year before they went to Milwaukee. But this is the colorway of the Mariners. Their colorway was like blue, yellow, and red. So of course you have to go with the Griffey Max, you know?
Perfect combo.
Right? Look at the color. Right on. Boom.
That's a great one.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorites.
That was perfect.
What you got, Keith?
All right. We got the. Let me see if I can get this in here.
Oh man, what shoe is he gonna pull out?
The Cobra Kai. This was Liz Cobra Kai with the pollens.
Yes. Man, you throw some red shoestrings on there, it's over.
Man, you know what? I haven't even thought about that. That's a good idea right there.
Man. Nick, you're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
There we go.
There we go.
Rookie, man, I tell you. Hey, it's early in the baseball season. Kruk said we got until July till we get it straightened out, so I'm going to go with that. If I keep messing up after July, you guys just toss me off the team.
You're going to send down to AAA.
He's going to Sacramento. Exactly. He's already in Sacramento.
So today we want to talk about some just like obscure hats, because like as you know from if you've watched or listened to the show so far, we're all Giants fans. We're all from Northern California, so like the opening day for the Giants this year was a sea captain giveaway, right? Like Brandon Belt nicknamed himself the captain, or put a C on his jersey last year with a electrical tape, and it stuck. So now he's referred to as the captain. And they like brought him out in this boat. He threw out the first pitch, and then like they gave away 20,000 of these like captain's hats to fans. Which, I mean, I probably most of the giveaway stuff like my big ass head wouldn't work anyway. But I had to look on eBay, right? And they're going for like $60, $70, $80 for this free giveaway hat. And I'm just thinking, man, this is crazy. Like, I don't know if it's spillover from the fitted thing, but I have to say too, like I went and got coffee with my buddy Aaron, who will probably be on here at some point because he's got a nice little collection. But he's been on the Sneaker History podcast with us and on the Exhaust Nose podcast with us. He's just a part of the community that we rock with. And there was a dude sitting outside the coffee shop with a captain hat, not a Giants captain hat, but that started me thinking about all this anyway. And then you said, hey, we should talk about maybe these obscure hats. But Dex, you kind of got a one-upper on all these people that got their freebies this year, right?
Yeah, they got, they made 20,000 freebies, but this is the original. And if you can tell, it has kind of a San Francisco logo there. But yeah, this is what they gave out to the 415 Club last year. And it's just a sea captain hat, but this was given away. I actually had a box it came in. I don't know where that box is anymore, but it was just a green 415 Club box, and my buddy was a part of that club, and he didn't want it, so he gave it to me. But they gave out, it was a box, a coaster, keychain, just a bunch of 415 shit, but the hat too.
Nice, man, nice. It's cool to see like it's cool I love seeing like the obscure stuff. So like we were looking at like games. So this year, like I want to make it to like a San Jose Giants game, obviously the River Cats. I want to get to an A's game. I want to get to a Giants game, obviously. But Cam and I started looking at like the giveaways and stuff, right? I'm like, okay, well, E40 bobblehead night is a must. I'm not going to let that pass. But then she saw that they're doing Hello Kitty San Francisco Giants bucket hats later in the season. So I can't remember if I think it's September. It might be like one of the last giveaways. But it's just kind of crazy, right? Because like obscure hats are kind of like a thing that I don't know that we all wear them very often, but I feel like we all have some randomness in our lives when it comes to hats. Once you go down the path of like, I'm going to be rocking fitteds or I'm going to be rocking a snapback, next thing you know, you're like, I could probably fuck with that. I could pull that off, right? And I'm going to toss it back to you again, Dexter, because you broke out the heat in regards to obscurity.
This thing is so big it fits over the hat.
Got the Daniel Boone hat on.
I got the Humpty Dump. Got the Shot G going on.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I collect all kind of hats, which I think we've talked about earlier in the one of those previous episodes. But my dad is a hat collector too. He has the Sherlock Holmes Deer Stalker hat, where it's like the brim in the front and the brim in the back with like the wool plaid craziness going on, and the flaps. Awesome. Like my dad would have all kind of crazy ass hats. And he would he'd be outside with like the counters, the counting visor, the green visor thing. He wear that outside. Like
about to go play some poker.
Yeah. But he'd be going to Safeway or something. Like he didn't care. So I've always kind of followed that in his footsteps because he's a hat guy. He just wasn't like we're taking to a new level. We're spending too much money on these damn hats. He was like, oh, it looks like a nice. He probably got it at a vintage store or whatever. But he wasn't going out, spending the $50 of the day on hats back then. But he always kept a couple dozen weird ones.
Yep.
And how often do you wear the Daniel Boone outside?
I think I've worn this outside twice when I was feeling real goofy doing some like outdoor stuff that I was like, I know I'm going to be like freezing cold. And because I also have a Chewbacca hat where it's like a beanie, but it's like fuzzy like this, but it has like Chewbacca's face at the top. And it's like, but it's like stupid warm. Like I should have wore that last night to the Giants game. That would have been, I would have been fine.
Freezing your ass off out there, right?
Freezing my ass off. I think I'm gonna keep this on for a little bit too. Get my tail going on.
You got any obscure hats in your collection, Keith?
I don't have any obscure hats, but I was kind of thinking about it. I don't know how obscure it is, but one of my buddies last week, he had on those like 1970s Pirates hats, the ones that had the flat top on it.
Well, and pill, what's it called? A pill box hat? Something like that?
Yep, that's it. Yep. And it's something that I would have never thought to put on my head, it's just like they look really cool to me, and it's like, it's cool finding old baseball cards where they're wearing the hats and stuff, but seeing someone else rock it, I'm like, man, maybe I might have to do it. It's just a super cool classic look,
Yeah, totally. It's crazy too, because like you could go, people are so like, just focused on fitteds, right? Like I don't wear snapbacks because they just don't really fit my head. So like 95% of what I buy is a fitted. But like I probably got at least half a dozen buckets. I probably got like another half dozen like driving caps, that are like that like old baseball kind of squash bill type thing that people will be having them really, really like curved around their face back in the day. And then I'm big into fedoras too. I mean, I don't wear them very often, but I just like them. So anytime I can get one in my size, I can't really pass it up because I just don't find them big enough to wear. So, but it's kind of funny too, because that starts making me think about, if you listen to my episode that I was on Dexter's Industry Special podcast, I talked about like my grandma wearing this visor. So like all through my childhood, my grandma had this plastic visor that she wore to every Giants game we went to. And it said, "I hate the Dodgers" on it. And it is forever on my eBay search list, like to find something like that so I can have that and just have that memory. Cause at some point she sold it at a garage sale, doing what grandmas do. But, it's one of those things where like, I have no idea where she got it because you wouldn't get that at a Giants game. It's still a little aggressive for a Giants game. People there, maybe outside the park, but I just don't see my grandma outside the park buying from some, street hustlers or scalpers or whomever's selling stuff. But maybe she was just feeling it one day and, had to pull the trigger.
To her.
Could have been. Yeah, it could have been. Who knows? But I definitely wish I knew the story. There's not too much more behind it, that I do know about it, unfortunately. And she's not in a place where she could actually, retell that story to me anymore. But the other thing I was thinking about with like the obscure hats, right? I feel like it's like the gateway drug, right? Like whether it's a fitted or a beanie or something, once you start down that path, to your guys' point about the pillbox hats, like I keep thinking about all these the variations, right? Like Dex, you talked about the ear covers. New Era did the flap ear covers, for the last few years, right? And then we talked a little bit about the fact that the Major League Baseball started allowing pitchers to wear protective fitteds, basically, which they look kind of like they look like the what's the not Star Wars, the dude from Spaceballs with the big huge helmet, kind of what Moranis. They look like.
I can't remember what his
Rick
name
Moranis.
is.
Yeah, I can't think of his name in that, but it's just
parody.
Yeah, exactly. The Darth Vader parody. Yep, that's what I'm thinking of. But it's just kind of weird that like there's so many different variations of all these things, and they all take a little bit from each other, right? Like, the New Era stuff obviously comes from like the actual need to keep yourself warm back in the day, but nobody was doing that with fitteds, 20 years ago or whatever, or those probably came out 100 years ago, right? Like, I feel like you would see those in like World War I type fighter jet pilots and, military folks and that kind of thing. But I can't really, it's funny to me, like just the way that people, like, to your point, Keith, you said like kind of, you just see it and you're like, oh man, maybe I should try that. And for me, I feel like all hats are fair game because I wear them so much, right? If I didn't, though, like I would not even mess with anything other than maybe if I wasn't a fitted guy, I wouldn't mess with any other hats. I would just be like, okay, cool. I got one Giants hat to go to the game. I'm good. But because of fitteds, because of baseball, because of like wearing them every single day almost of my life, now I just feel like, just send me into any kind of hat store and I'm about to try on everything.
And for me too, it's not even just like, if I were to get something obscure like that, it's maybe not even something I would wear, but even just like the collecting aspect of it, you know what I mean? Like I could have it sitting on the shelf in my room and I still think it looks cool, even though I'm maybe not going to put it on my head or whatever, but it just kind of makes you appreciate hats in all forms. It just doesn't have to be a fitted with a side patch for it to be a dope hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. You got any others in the collection, Dexter? Worth mentioning?
Man, that I can pull out, no. But everything we're talking about is making me remember somewhere I have some of those old New Eras where it looks like this, but it has the flap coming down and like, keeps you warm. I think I have a couple Seahawks, a couple Giants. Like I had like 5 or 6 of those. And that was like 10, 12 years ago. That was a while. I still have those somewhere. So, but once you, like you said, like it's like the gateway drug. Once you buy one weird thing, it's over. Or like if you just kind of dress basic, like I just wear black and gray, and then you go and get like a pink button shirt, it's over. Now you're like, okay, I can rock pink, I can rock yellow, I can rock green. You just like for the longest I didn't wear low tops because playing basketball for so long was like, I want that ankle support. Even if I'm not playing, I'm so used to the ankle support.
Yep.
And then I'll get one low top, and I'm like, oh man, let me go out of Air Max then. Fuck it.
Yeah, totally.
So, but
I kind of feel that way. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe we should have an obscure hat of the day thing because I can pull out.
That'd be cool. Yeah, let's do it.
Shit.
Yeah, I could definitely dig up some stuff. I'm sure. I gotta
see all that.
Yeah, you were gonna say something, Keith. I'll get into that in a second.
Oh no, it's okay. I was gonna ask you guys too. Like, do you consider like a 5-panel hat obscure? Like those Supreme 5-panel hats? Because it's not something I would personally wear, but then like when I see it on other people, it looks super dope. But I was curious if you guys had anything like that in the collection.
What exactly is a 5-panel hat?
So instead of this being 2 separate panels, it's like one solid piece right here. It doesn't have that extra stitching that goes down the middle that breaks it up.
It's kind of I mean, it's sort of towards like the cycling world.
Oh, yeah.
But like Supreme does 5 panels. Actually, one of my friends, Rob, who we should probably have on the show at some point down the road, he's got a pretty crazy collection of that. Like he always wears that 5-panel type hat. I like the way they look on other people. I think they look weird on me. I think it's probably just because my head is so big. I just feel like fitteds are like really the best way to go. But I think it's interesting though, because like that is like the other side of hats, and specifically the collecting of hats that's interesting that's out there, right? Because like Supreme isn't necessarily connected to sports the way fitteds are, but like they do occasionally do their like Yankees collabs, and they do fitteds, right? And like I shared the undefeated stuff. So like the streetwear crossover, right? Like streetwear really does a good job of bridging the gap between like the sports fan, right? And like the streetwear, like more fashion focused fan of hats, in my opinion.
But yeah, I Googled it and I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know what the hell I thought those were called, but yes, I have 2 or 3 of these.
Are they any more like shallow? When I see them, it looks like the crown of the hat isn't as deep. I feel like it sits all the way down on your head. Is that kind of how they fit?
I think since it's the 5-panel and like these are like really like trying to like make a crownish type of situation. Those they, at least for my head, it's because it's more flexible. It just fits. So that's like the perfect like outdoor hiking, going fishing hat.
Gotcha.
All right. I mean, I definitely got some going fishing hats somewhere stashed in the garage. I also got I got a couple of random straw hats too, like which makes me want straw hat pizza for some reason. But hey, fat kid for life. One thing before we get out of here, I wanted to mention when you pulled out your pilot's hat. If you haven't watched, so it's like 3 hours or 4 hours long, but there's a YouTube channel called Secret Base, and they did the history of the Seattle Mariners, and the like extended version of that talks about the pilots, talks about how crazy Seattle baseball and like the stories and how it all came to be are. It's definitely a really interesting thing to watch if you're into like baseball at all. And honestly, even if you're not, because it's just like so much drama and so many bizarre things. That's like, even the way the teams got their names, the way the teams like moved, like you said, they moved to Milwaukee after a year, like the stadiums and how the stadiums got destroyed so quickly compared to other places. It's a wild story, but I'll link to it in the description wherever you're watching this. But be prepared to like sit through it for a while, because if you get into it, you'll be stuck into it for like a good 3-4 hours. I can't remember exactly how long it is, but
and then you'll start.
I know it took me. Yeah, I know it took me like a solid like weekend to get through it. But
I was just watching the Dave Steeb one right before we went live.
Oh, nice! Yeah. Nice.
So shout out to Secret Base.
That's a great channel. They do a good job with that stuff. All right, so before we wrap and get out of here for this episode, we got to talk about what's on our heads, right?
Oh,
haven't mentioned it yet. So
this is that old school 80s Giants logo. This probably was more on the sleeves or like on a jacket. This was never on an on-field hat or an on-field jersey, at least on the front. Like I said, they might have had the sleeve on the side, Robbie Thompson, Will Clark, and then this is that era, Kevin Mitchell. And on the side, I don't know if you can see it, it has like the trucker mesh material. So I was telling Nick before we recorded, because I have the spring training one is just like this as well. I had never seen the trucker type hat with the mesh in the back with the airflow as a fitted hat until this one, like 4 years ago, and then the spring training one that I had pulled out, I think, a couple of episodes ago.
Yeah, that's a dope one, man. That's one of my favorite Giants logos. It just reminds me of it's like Roger Craig, like you said, Robbie Thompson, Will Clark. It's that era, that Hum Baby era. But how How about you, Keith? What are you rocking?
This was one of my pickups from last episode, but this is the My Fitteds.
Oh yeah.
Over here,
so damn bright.
The laser pack. Yeah, it's crazy. It's probably kind of washed out right now too with the lighting in the back, but this is like instantly become one of my favorite hats. You know, I know this logo kind of hit a little bit of a boom lately, but it's still I'm gonna wear this forever. I love this hat.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. That's a good one. I got like the
black light if I had that.
Yeah, seriously.
You know what? I bought a black light. I bought one. I haven't tried it out yet, but there's a black light sitting right down there.
Oh, see, you're gonna find that on our Instagram here pretty soon. So check us out at Crown and Stitch.
Oh yeah.
I'm rocking same. I think I wore this last episode too, unfortunately, or episode before that. But Pride got that foil logo, Pride Giants hat. I would take this off, but like it's got the liner is like the rainbow as well, all the way around, which is pretty dope feature.
What's up?
Yeah, because I had like an older Pride hat from I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, but it's just real standardized, right? It's like your typical wool hat, embroidered logo, but the logo is embroidered in multiple colors and the rainbow colors, whatever. And, just, I don't know, just one of my favorite hats, kind of been my go-to pretty frequently lately. So, and, matches nicely with my little sneaker history hoodie. So can't complain.
Nice.
That's about it. What else? You guys got anything else? Or are we going to let them know how they can find us and we'll get on to the next episode.
You can find me right here, smooth as eggs everywhere, including OnlyFans. But it's
got the link in the description.
No. But smooth as eggs, also industry special podcast. You can follow that. It's my other podcast. I've had Nick on. Going to have Keith on.
Yeah, we got that linked in the description as well. How about you, Keith?
You can find me on IG at Keith the Sneak with 2 Ks, and also in the Sneaker History Discord, all day, every day.
Yes, sir. Me too. At Nick Ingval on all the platforms, social media wise. Sneaker History Podcast, Exhaust Nose Podcast. You can find a lot of stuff in that Discord. We're gonna have a bunch of other fitted talk in that Discord as well. If you want to hop in there, if you're one of those people that likes hanging out in a Discord, is definitely a great place to be. A lot of really good people. And I think probably the one thing that I appreciate the most is everyone in there is selfless and everybody in there is looking out for each other when they're trying to cop stuff. And because there's not as many people in there with fitteds, you might be able to get a lot more assistance getting some of these hats. I know I have spent a lot more money than I want to spend on my own because of the good people in the Discord. So I guess I should say I love them for that, but also a little bit more broke because of that. But anyway, you can follow the accounts, the Crown and Stitch accounts at Crown and Stitch on all the platforms. But that's it for this episode. Thanks for rocking with us. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Later, guys.